Welcome back to Kick and Flavor. Got a dope episode for you today. Got some great content. We're going to talk about KD releasing his Aunt Pearl colorway to the general public for the first time ever. Now, we know that he usually has this colorway on his shoes, but this colorway is usually not available to the public. This year, it will be for the first time. Now, we also going to talk about the Travis Scott Olives. There's been a lot of talk about these shoes. Some of the stuff has been confirmed. Some of the stuff has been rumors, but we got some new information that I think you're going to want to hear, especially if you're a reseller, all right? We also going to talk about the LeBron James first game colorway that's going to release in March. It's going to be the LeBron Zoom 1s, the first shoes from his rookie year, his first home game. That's why it's called the first games. They're going to be released in March. We're going to take a look at those. And lastly, we're going to talk about the new Kobe's that's going to be released this year. It's a lot of Kobe's being released this year, but the one that we're talking about today is one of my favorites. It's the Kobe Protro 4. It's going to be in a Gigi colorway. This is a new exclusive colorway that we've never seen before. I actually just seen the pictures myself a few days ago. This is the first sighting of them, and from what I'm hearing, this picture is the real deal. So this is how the shoe's gonna actually look. So that was a nice little surprise, in the middle of the week for us. Now, before I get into the topics, if you enjoy the content, if you find it entertaining or informational in any way, please like, share, subscribe, and help the channel grow. Let's get into it. The first shoe that we're going to get into is the KD3 Aunt Pearl colorway. Now, if you're familiar with the KD line, you know he does an Aunt Pearl colorway for every shoe. It started at the KD4 all the way up until the current KDs, but usually the Aunt Pearl colorway is not available for the public. Now, Aunt Pearl is KD's aunt who passed away in 2001 in cancer. He created this Aunt Pearl colorway to pay homage to her and keep her memory alive. And like I said, in the past, people weren't able to get this colorway, but now the colorway is going to be available to the public, and Nike is doing a little bit different. They're going to put this colorway on the KD3, which I think was a pretty good idea. So if you look at this mock-up that you see in the screen, now, I don't know if the shoe is going to look exactly like this, but what I am hearing is that this is going to be the actual color. So it's going to be medium soft pink, white, and lotus pink. All right, so I don't know if the color blocking is going to be the same. I don't know if these colors will be placed on the actual shoe like how they are in the image, but it is going to look somewhat like that. Shout out to Z Sneakerheads, shout out to Sneaker Files for the great mock-ups. Now, I think this is a good move by Nike, bringing this colorway to the KD3. This is a good move by Nike, man. Will the shoe sell out? I'm not sure. It's pink, it's white. I don't know how good that's gonna do, but just because it's an Aunt Pearl and it's the first Aunt Pearl that's available to the general public, it probably is gonna have a lot of hype, a lot of excitement behind it. So I'm not sure how to call this, man. There's not a lot of information about it right now that's solid. I haven't seen any release dates. I know it's coming this year. I really don't know much else about any release dates, or I don't know much about any pricing. So I don't know how much it'll be. I don't know the exact time that it's coming out, but I do know that it's coming out this year. It has been confirmed. So if you're a KD fan, if you're a Nike basketball fan, his shoes are always comfortable. His shoes are always cool. This is something a little bit different. They bringing back the KD3 in the Aunt Pearl colorway. The more information I get, I'm gonna keep relaying it to y'all, and I'm gonna keep my eyes on this release, man, because like I said, with this Aunt Pearl being the first one is available to the public, a lot of people are gonna try to get this shoe for its resale value. So I'm gonna keep an eye on these KD Aunt Pearls that's coming this year. Okay, so the next shoe that I want to talk about is the Nike Low One, the Olive Travis Scott's. All right, now this is a shoe that everybody's hype about, everybody's excited about. I talked about this shoe in my top 20 Jordans that's releasing this year. If you want to go check out that video, it's a lot of dope shoes on there, a lot of good information about release dates and pricing, and a lot of other good things. But this was a shoe, it was a lot of mystery around it. Now, the news that a lot of people were waiting for was, is this gonna be in extended sizes? And I want to let y'all know the answer is probably yes. All right, so it probably will be in extended sizes. People like me, that's a W for me. I wear 13 in men, so that's a size 14 and a half in women's. I'm not sure if they'll be extended that much, I don't know. Hopefully they are. If they are, I'm definitely going to try to get a pair, just for the resale value. These shoes look pretty cool. Not my favorite Travis's, you know what I mean? But if this is one that I could get my hands on, I definitely will try to, for, flip purposes, resale purposes. You know, I'm not sure, man. When I get the shoe in my hands, I'll know what I'll do with it at that time. But again, I am hearing that it will be extended sizes available. So my guys with bigger feet, maybe if you got, you know, 11 and a half, 12 and up, it may be hope for us. You know what I'm saying? It may be hope for us. I'm not gonna submit anything. I'm not gonna, you know, have my mind set on it. But from what I'm hearing, there will be extended sizes. But you know, it's still a lot of unknown things about the sneaker as far as the stock goes. I don't know how many pairs it's gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be extended sizes. If any of y'all watching this know, get in the comments, let me know. Like I said, they're leaning towards there being extended sizes. I don't know for sure, maybe not. Let me know in the comments if y'all have any other information about these olive Travis Scotts that's coming up this year. Okay, now let's get into these LeBrons, man. The LeBron Zoom Generation 1 first game colorway will drop in March. Now, I know these aren't the same colorway from his first game. His first game was actually a road game against the Sacramento Kings. We all remember the fast break and the dunk, the iconic picture of him dunking against the Kings. These shoes are the actual same colorway that he wore in his first home game for the Cavaliers, November 5th, 2003, his first home game. This is the same colorway now. These Zoom Generation 1s, I think they're called. I think that's the official name. These are some of my favorite LeBrons. I think they fit the retro look now. You know, LeBron's newer shoes, they look super futuristic. The first LeBrons, they were a little bit ahead of their time, so now I think it's the perfect time for Nike to retro these. And you know, with LeBron breaking a record and you know, becoming an all-time leading scorer, I think it's gonna add a little bit more. It's gonna add to the anticipation for these shoes a little bit more. Now, Nike is retailing them at $180, so that's kind of an indicator that they may have some resale value. Nike might know that they have some resale value. I don't know anything about the stock numbers. When I get that information, I'll let y'all know, but that's gonna tell us a lot too. But again, you know, with LeBron breaking a record, him, you know, continuing to strengthen his resume, these shoes will have some resale value. I don't know if people are gonna be using bots to get these or if they're gonna be going hard like that, but it is a possibility, man. The Zoom Generation 1 LeBron, the first LeBrons, they're a fan favorite, man. I'm a big fan of LeBron. Those are probably my favorites. It could be a couple more, I have to look, but I really like those a lot. Like I said, those were ahead of their time. Times have kind of caught up. LeBron shoes now look super futuristic, so those Generation 1s, those first LeBrons, it's just something about it, man. It just takes you back to that time in the early 2000s. The shoes that were made during that time right now are big, man, you know, so obviously retro Jordans are always big. The older Air Maxes, the older, you know, Cortez and things like that, they're making a resurgence, and I think the LeBron Generation 1s fit in perfectly. Now, like I said, they're coming in March and the retail is $180. Let me know in the comments, are y'all gonna pick up these LeBrons? Okay, now lastly, we're gonna talk about these Kobe's, man. You know, Kobe's wife was going through something with Nike, you know, a little bit after his passing. They got through that, so she was able to sign a contract. So we knew once that happened, a lot of Kobe's was gonna be released, a lot of different colorways. We've seen a couple Kobe's, we've seen a couple of other mock-ups of some black and gold Kobe's, which I'm gonna be talking about in another video. But I wanna talk about the new Kobe's, you know, the new sizes that we've seen. It was the Protro 4, which are my favorite Kobe's. And the colorway is called Gigi. It's black, white, blue with a little bit of green. Now, I'm gonna put the mock-ups up on the screen. I don't know if it was a typo, but I think I seen green in one description and, you know, just black, white, and red in another description. So I'm not sure. This is a brand new shoe, y'all. These images, it was the first time that I ever seen them. I just seen them. And usually when you have images like that and it's just one source for these images, that means that a lot of things could change. The color could change, the patterns could change, but I think that this is pretty solid. Now, I actually seen the mock-up and I seen them on feet, but again, it was from the same source. So that lets me know only one source has this information. So, you know, I would be putting all my eggs in one basket to believe the source. So I'm just gonna give it some time. I'm gonna wait till some other sources come out. I'm gonna put the pictures up on the screen. Let me know what y'all think about how this Kobe is looking, man. These look pretty dope. I'm liking the plaid detailing that's going around the shoe. You got the Gigi, you got the number 2, you know what I'm saying? Just, this is a nice looking shoe, man. And honestly, the on foot pictures look even better. These on feet, they look crazy. This is gonna be another crazy Kobe drop, crazy Nike drop. A lot of people gonna catch L's, man. This is gonna be a very highly anticipated shoe. A lot of people are waiting on this shoe. It really doesn't matter how they look. People are gonna buy these, man. You know, as long as they don't stray too far away from the pictures that we've seen. Again, I did see them on you know, feet in real life, not just a mock-up. And I'm gonna put that picture up too, but at the end of the day, that could just be a sample. That could be a Nike employee who has a sample, and you know, the shoes, you know, they could change. So we don't know for sure. I don't have a retail price right now. I don't have a date. I do see that they're coming in May, so we don't got a specific date. We don't have a specific price, but we do know that they're coming in May, and they look pretty dope, man. I'm feeling these shoes. I'm feeling these Kobe's. All these kicks that we talked about today in this episode are gonna have a lot of resale value, man, and they all look pretty dope. Now, what was your favorite shoe that we talked about today? Let me know. You're gonna get the Travis Scotts, you're gonna get the Lebrons, the Aunt Pearls, the KDs, or the Kobe's, man, the Gigi colorway, man. Y'all let me know. Any stock information I get, any price, any retail price information I get, or extended size information I get, y'all know I'm going to always post it. I'm going to always talk about it. Let me know how y'all feel about these kicks in the comments. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Kick and Flavor. Stay tuned for more.